so many people have done so much work internally and have elevated so much, but the outside is no longer reflective of that. And so my job is to make sure that that is a reflection of who they are. And it's so powerful too, because people start to notice and opportunities start to happen.
Welcome to the Raquel Show. This podcast is for entrepreneurs who want to play bigger in business and in life. Today, I have a very special guest who I met through social media. Never underestimate the power of social media and connections. I'll never forget her reaching out and making a comment while I was in Turks and Caicos. And she was one that had been on my radar that I actually wanted to connect with. She's a style coach who helps entrepreneurs transform their style and energy to show up online and stand out authentically. Welcome to the show, Dulce.
Hello, and thank you, Raquel, for having me. I'm so grateful to be on your show. Thank you.
And did I say that right? Is it Dulce? And
Yes,
not Dolce?
Because
I always look at your name and I'm like, I want to say Dolce & Gabbana.
A lot of people would call me that. Yeah, but you said that perfectly. It's Dulce with a D-U-L-C-E. So you said it perfect.
Love it. It's such a beautiful name. So I'm excited to have this conversation because I remember my first mentor telling me when I was really young, starting my first business, and I was serving clients from all walks of life. He said, Raquel, you can never make another first impression, and how you present yourself carries a lot of weight in our business. And it's no different than a job interview, right? We always show up as our best self. And I know that when we deal with celebrities and athletes as clientele, one of the first things they hire out is a stylist. And so I'm excited to kind of hear your background on what inspired you to do what you do today.
Okay, well, that is a very good question. Style has always been part of who I've been growing up. As a very young girl, I used to cut papers or pictures out of a magazine and put them on my wall, just inspired by models and clothing. And so it's always been my thing. But as I was growing up, there came this part in my life where I got really sick with an autoimmune disease. I got lupus. And it kind of took away a lot of who I was on the outer side. And what happened as I was starting to realize and get to know myself, because I love fashion so much, is that dressing up for me was the best way for me to get out of that funk and show up fully. And so if I had something go wrong, like, for example, I ended up getting chemo and doing all these things. And I say that not from a place of like, woe is me, but it did something to me. It changed my psychology into like, I can look good. I can put on a wig. I can put on a hat. I can put on clothes, and I can change my mood, and I can change the way that I feel about myself instead of feeling sorry for myself. And so as the years went on, that was my tool. That was the tool that I use to continuously reinvent myself over and over and over again. And so I kind of became a master at that, using clothing to make me feel good, make me look good, to lift my mood, to lift my energy. And so, fast forward, 20 years later, I am here. I am healthy, the healthiest I've ever been. I am just fully thriving. And I want women to know that, women and men, that the way you show up for yourself, the way you put yourself together, the way you show up for your business and in all aspects of life matters, because you can be the best in your field. You can be the best in what you do. But people are going to overlook you, whether it's online or in person, because they are going to judge you right away on the way that you look. And it's like that because unfortunately we put so much on the outer aspect of it, but it's important. It's important to show up fully as you and do it in a way where you're fully expressed, because I mean, we only live one time in this world. And so why not do it to your fullest expression?
Oh my gosh, I love all of that. And I had no idea, what a beautiful story that how you use clothing, right, to make you feel good. It was actually a tool. And so let's really talk about that and, talk about how clothing can transform your energy and why that is important, maybe even to your brand.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, when you put an outfit on and you look like, oh my gosh, I look like this shit right now. It does something to your mood. It does something to your energy. And especially in a world that we live in now, like with online and our branding online, people are going to pick on who they want to work with based on how that is presented. And so, I mean, I know I look online and I love when somebody looks 100% put together, and somebody else may be a lot better. Somebody else may be a lot more talented and a lot more skilled in what they do, but they are not putting themselves out there fully and putting themselves and trusting themselves or putting that much effort into that part of their business. And so my job, what I do is I help entrepreneurs, show up online authentically to their style and pretty much show up energetically, because it does affect your energetics. It does affect your energy just based on scrolling through social media. When they see you and they see you show up fully authentically to who you are, they're going to stop. They're going to be like, okay, let me check this person out, because you are fully embodied in that energy. You are fully showing up for yourself. And I truly believe that it's important. I think that it's something to be talked about.
It totally is something to be talked about. And I wanted to actually flip this as we're like talking about this, is sometimes, especially nowadays, past COVID, like when the pandemic first hit, is a lot of us do our calls on Zoom today. We no longer meet. And how important is it to even still show up, not only online, but show up, on Zoom calls as your best self, right? I think there's a difference. I remember when COVID hit, of like being in sweats or actually like dressing up as the world was like taking a turn.
Yeah, I think production stopped and everything, even in retail, in clothing, in sales went up in yoga pants, in sweats, and all those kind of things, because people are like, well, we're not going anywhere, so why get dressed up? But the matter of the fact is, I had friends and personally myself would intentionally get dressed up because I saw so many people get depressed and so many people let go and so many people gain weight from like just saying, well, I'm not going to worry about that anymore. And the reality is, the energy behind putting something on and looking good for yourself allows you to show up differently. Your energy is different. The way you feel inside allows you to uplift other people, and you feel totally empowered. Even sometimes wearing heels, in just sitting down and wearing heels, that has a huge difference in the way that you sit and the way that you show up for yourself. And I think that we tend to underestimate what clothing can do for ourselves. And I know there was this study done with wearing a lab coat, wearing like a doctor coat. And there was students who were told that this is like a doctor coat. And then the other students were told that it was for something else. And so they had them do a test, and the students who actually believed that they were wearing a doctor's coat scored a lot better than the students who thought that it was just like a random white coat. And so there's a psychology behind that. There's a lot of studies done based on the way you dress and the way that you show up. where it really does have an impact on performing better and being smarter and the way people perceive you.
What you just said is really interesting because I remember not too long ago, there was an article from a travel agent, and she had said that sometimes we'll have first class seats available. And if somebody comes to the counter dressed like nice, they actually end up giving it as like a free like upgrade versus like they'll get more no's or give out more no's to somebody that wasn't. And I thought that was really interesting. That wasn't dressed, right? For the plane. I thought that was really interesting. And I'm sure you could Google it. But yeah, I mean, I was amazed at like how, sometimes people can make a decision just based on not necessarily skin or color, but like how you dress.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The study was called Enclothed Cognition. So you can Google it and get to know more about that. But absolutely, they're going to upgrade you if you look really good. Somebody, you don't know what's going to happen. Opportunities, like the way that you show up, also open up so many opportunities for you. I have people come up to me and just start conversations with me based on what I'm wearing, or oh, hey, I love your shirt, or I love your shoes, I love your accessories. What do you do? And so then I can say I'm a wardrobe stylist. When you show up and you look your best, it's a great way to open up conversations because people may compliment your outfit. People may come up to you and start a conversation with you based on the way that you look. And yeah, there's a lot of perks that come with that too, a lot. But let's not just say talk about the outside, because it's more than clothes. It's more than clothes. It's how you show up for yourself, how it's going to impact, especially women in the world today. It's how it's going to impact you in psychologically in your business, how it's going to impact you in your relationships. How are you showing up for your kids to see you and be inspired by you and inspiring other women to do the same? Because like I said earlier, we are here one time on this earth, and let's not be mediocre. Let's not be blah. Let's express ourselves fully in our fullest self-expression and really be here. And it's for us. It's not to impress anybody else. And it's not to, to get attention, because it's more than just clothes. It's how it makes us feel about ourselves and how we can inspire others.
And that is key, right? The way you feel everything about yourself is everything to impacting the world, is everything to inspiring the world. And there is a difference when you feel at your best, you perform at your best. And
100%.
Clothing is just a vehicle for that. Right. Yes. And so I'm curious to know, what tips would you give to somebody that may not necessarily feel their best, but may want to upgrade their style to kind of energetically feel good, knowing just your beautiful story?
One of my favorite tips to give is accessories go a long ways, whether you like silver or gold, necklaces, earrings, even shoes or handbags. That's a really small way to start adding and integrating into your wardrobe. Just, if you're not comfortable with clothes yet, or if you feel like, I don't know what to wear and I don't know what to shop, like start with accessories, something bold, a bold necklace or a bold earring, or a really cool handbag that's way out of your comfort zone, but you know that you're going to rock it. And then after that, I would say, obviously the most important thing is to show up authentically as you. And I love to style my clients as themselves. I don't want them to become somebody else, but I want them to show up as their higher selves. So it's like pushing them a little bit outside their comfort zone, where they're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I feel about this, but I feel really good though. And it's a little scary, but just pushing them a little bit outside the comfort zone and making them show up as their truest self, but in a way where it's elevated. And so then, after the accessories, then maybe you can start adding clothes that you've always dreamed of, that you've admired, that you've seen other people wear and you've told yourself, I don't know if I can wear that. And yeah, actually the answer is yes, you can wear that. You can, and you can show up fully. But, the second thing is start picking and choosing clothes that are going to make you a little bit uncomfortable, because this is another thing that I want to talk about, is that the fastest way to manifest things in your life and manifest the person that you are becoming is to start showing up as her. So if you want to become that girl, if you want to become that woman who looks fabulous and amazing, start dressing like her, because you automatically step into that highest version of yourself, even though internally you're probably like, I don't know about this, but that's the fastest way. That is the fastest way to start manifesting next level you, but actually start wearing that clothes, because now you're embodying that future self. You're embodying that woman that you've admired, and you're slowly stepping into her. And it's just, for me, it's so exciting for women when they start showing up that way, when they go shopping and they start wearing the clothes, because they start becoming her. And I'm in awe when I see my clients. I don't even know who they are. I'm like, oh my gosh, you look amazing, because they have embodied her already, and they're ready to continue that and step into that next level and continue to do that over and over again. So that's very exciting for me.
This is so good. And I remember, so like I have a question and a follow-up question to that. And I remember when we were dealing with some of the rookies that got into some of the pros, right? And they didn't know how to dress because they have been so used to being a certain way, but and we deal with the sports management companies. They are actually, they have somebody that tells them like, this is your brand. This is going to also get you endorsements. And they lay it all out for them. And one of the things they do is they actually will go in their closets and like take away like a lot of different things. And it's like almost bare, right? So my question to you, who you are all about style, is how often, because that's also energy clearing, right? When we like get rid of clothes, how often should somebody like upgrade their clothing or do a clean out of their closet?
Okay, so this is what I do for my clients. To answer your question, I would say to do a review at least once a year, to do a little wardrobe check once a year. Like, are you still wearing this? Does it still fit you? Does it have holes in it? Is it aligning with your higher self? Does it have stains on it? How long have you had it? Any of those things, if you've had it for over 5 years, it needs to go. If it has holes in it, if it has stains on it, it has to go. But we constantly have to be doing this review. And I say a year, but when I go to my clients, houses and I do closet clear outs, normally there when I leave. But what happens is that the clothes that starts coming in, the newer clothes that they start shopping for, and the old things that leave, it clears up this energy. It's like old stagnant energy that was just taking up space, taking up your personal energy that you were used to put on your body. And it wasn't no longer representing the version of yourself. And so now with the new clothes, everything that's in there is the new you. And so as you evolve, as you grow, as you elevate in your professional life, in everything in your world, your wardrobe should also elevate with you. So as you evolve, so should your wardrobe. Like, it just needs to align with that. So many people have done so much work internally and have elevated so much, but the outside is no longer reflective of that. And so my job is to make sure that that is a reflection of who they are. It's so powerful too, because people start to notice and opportunities start to happen. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, it's so good, because I think a lot of our listeners that are listening to this are probably wondering like, okay, I need to probably go shopping. And like some of the tips that you said, and I was like smiling, and I know that some of them can't see us, but I'm like, yeah, if you've had it for 5 years, get rid of it. I'm sure they were wondering like, how often should I clean. And there's like that whole cleansing thing too, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you do that, because it allows you, like you said, for newer opportunities to come in.
Mm-hmm. 100%. It's energetics. It's if you have a house full of clutter and things and it's dirty, you're not gonna be able to work right. It's not gonna be a comfortable place for you to be at. You're not gonna want to be at home. If your closet has things that you no longer wear in it and it's stuffed with things that no longer align with you, you're not going to want to dress up every day. So it's the same thing. It's energetics that you have to clear out and remove that stagnant energy, clean your house in order, when you have a clean house, a beautiful home, a beautiful wardrobe, you're going to want to wear that clothes. You're going to want to be home. And that's with everything in your life, with relationships, with what you choose to watch, who you choose to hang out with, everything that you do. And so your closet is a huge part of that because it represents you fully. It's how you show up. It's the person that you are creating. And so you get to choose that person. You get to pick your avatar and dress that every single day. And you get to decide who you want to be. And I think that's a beautiful thing when you look at it that way, energetically, and you can actually choose who you want to be and how you want to show up and how you want to inspire. And I mean, it's pretty powerful. That's pretty powerful.
It's so powerful. And the way you talk about it, it's like, it could not be any more true. So what advice would you give to people of the not to do when it comes to style or when it comes to clothing? And what are like some of the don't ever do? We see those in magazines.
Yeah. Yes. This was very easy. Right now in the world that we live in today, fast fashion is faster than like I've ever seen it before. I mean, I've been in retail for, over 15 years. I have seen fashions come and go. And the beauty about it is that it's always changing. And that's the energy is always changing. It's always a breath of fresh air. But now with online and so many stores and so many brands are cheap and fast fashion is the trends. The trends are so fast. So don't be trendy. Don't buy things that are just for the now and that are colors or anything that is just for the now. And because it's trendy, because it's happening right now. My biggest advice is buy quality over quantity and buy classics, buy things that you can have for years, even if you have to pay a little bit more, but don't go to the cheap shops like Shein or anything like that. It's important to curate your closet in a way where you can buy something now, but it's going to last you for a really long time. And I know earlier I said, if it's in your closet for 5 years, but you can have quality pieces that will last you for a really long time. And no one will ever know that you've had it for that long because you have curated your closet in a way where it's classic and beautiful. And then the things that you can spend less money on, the basics, Another thing that I want to say is the clue to having an amazing wardrobe is starting with good basics. So tees, bodysuits, nice pair of jeans, like a nice suiting jacket. So just having a really, really good basics, that's kind of like the foundation to creating a really nice rounded closet. And then we can start adding the quality pieces on top of that will last a long time. So that would be my number one suggestion is do not buy trends or colors that come and go because you're just throwing your money away. And when you wear something, people will know when they see a picture of it. Oh, I remember when that was on trend, back in, 2020, 2021. And so, clothing can be very dating, but if you dress right and you dress quality and classy, if you wear an outfit, you won't be able to tell 5 years from now when that outfit was, or 10 years from now, it's still in fashion because you have curated this very classic look and chosen very classic pieces.
Oh, this is so good. So if there's anything that I've learned today, it's having an amazing wardrobe or leveling up your style creates a sense of energy or power that you could step into, even if it's your future self, which creates more opportunities which also helps your brand as a business owner, right? And
yes,
I love all the things that you shared today on our show. And I always ask this question to all of our guests is, what do you do to play bigger in business and in life?
right off the bat that came to my head was doing new things, like scary things, but with people you love. And so that's, for me, it's creating memories, going out and creating new experiences with people you love, and doing things that are kind of scary. So I have a group of friends that I surround myself with, and we're always doing something new. It's either small or big. For example, like we put one of my friends, Annette, put a kickball team together, and there's this group of adults playing kickball. And I can't even express how fun and adventure that was. I mean, it's something so small, but also something that brings so much joy to your life. So just doing things that are different and fun and kind of scary, because that was kind of scary. It's like, I don't know if I know how to play kickball anymore. And we were all very sore the next day because we were older.
That's so good. Creating experiences, right? Do things that are a little bit different, that create those memories that you can always look back on. And what are you most excited about that you're working on this year that people could kind of tune into?
There's several projects, but I really want to create something for women on how, like a foundation, a course on how to create a perfect wardrobe, regardless of your style or anything, how to curate your wardrobe. And so that's something that I'm really passionate about. There are a lot of women that say, you know what, I need your help, but I can't afford you, or I really want to hire you, but I'm not ready. I need to lose these 10 pounds, or there's always something behind that. And so I want to create something very easy and attainable for women on how can I create this wardrobe for myself, and it doesn't have to be hard, and it could be easy. So that's something that I've been putting my focus on right now, and I'm kind of very excited about that. So, and it's something for everybody.
I am so excited. I think it's perfect. And where can people connect with you?
Well, my favorite social media platform is Instagram. It's my first and last name, Dulce Badillo _ Also, you can find my website at dulcebadillo.com. And Dulce Badillo _ Instagram is where I like to hang out.
Awesome. Well, make sure you connect with her, and we'll also put it in the show notes. Dulce, thank you so much for being on our show. If you have enjoyed this interview, please share it on Instagram and tag her, and share some of the takeaways that you guys have learned from this episode. I appreciate you. I appreciate having you on the show. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. This was fun, Raquel. Thank you so much.